So this is going to be a quick video on how to remove a single pane window and how to replace the window sashes and then the strings that normally run from the pulley down to the weights inside of these old historic windows. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to, I've already done it, you actually only have to do it on one side, is you want to get a razor blade and you want to run it along this trim, especially if it's been painted over. So like here we can see that this side is painted over. So what we want to do is you just want to cut that. But so if we are replacing the weights or even the string that runs to the weights, we really only need to cut off one side of the trim from that window. And that's because we can just slide the window out once we have that trim removed. So what I did was I ran this along the edge, got all of that paint to separate from the window and the trim. And then what I did was I got a spackling knife and I put this in here and then just kind of pried it away. Once you get an opening on that with the second hand, you want to get one of these smaller tools. They sell these at Home Depot, and then you just kind of put that in the window and then you pry it apart. You want to work up slowly because these do break quite easily. So kind of just work your way up, and then once you kind of have it all loose, you can just go ahead and detach this and put it off to the side. And then what you want to do, I have to put the camera down. What you want to do is you just want to get the window. You can just do it with one hand, I guess. Now you can lift it up over that lip down at the bottom. See if I can show you. So you want to lift it up over this lip, and then you just want to kind of wiggle it out like that. Now I'll go ahead and inspect the frame once you have the window out. So here it doesn't look like there is anything, but if we look closely, we can see that there is a screw that was painted over, and there's also a slit here, and there is a slit all the way up here. So this is going to be like a secret pocket where the weights are. So we want to get the paint off of the screw and then go ahead and unscrew it, and I'll show you that in the next step. So what I did here was I just went ahead and got the razor blade, and you just want to scrape out some of that paint from inside of this screw, and that'll just make it easier for you to actually get a tool in there and unscrew this screw. So now I should be able to get it. So now we can see there actually is a screw in there. We were not just crazy. The next step that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take out this piece. So they actually sell this one at Home Depot. It's like $1 per foot, and this is probably about 6 feet all the way up the window. Probably about $6 to replace, so not a big deal. And they actually sell one that's like a perfect fit. Most of the time these will just crumble, so it's probably just better to get a new one. So we're going to break this out of the way. Okay, so for this next step, what I did was I got a razor blade and I cut along this seam here, and this is just going to free it up. So this is just press fit into here, but when they painted it over, it creates a little bit of a lock, so we can see that that wiggles. So we just want to start at the bottom and then kind of wiggle our way out with that. So we can see it's coming out pretty easy. Like I said though, we are going to replace this, and that's because it will most likely 100% break at this point here because it is wedged behind here. You can already see this one's pretty damaged, so at $6, we might as well just go to Home Depot and get a new piece for that. When you break it, bring the piece to Home Depot so you can get an exact size batch. Okay, so then once you get this trim out, I actually only got it halfway out on this one. I'm going to come back and do the rest later. That's just painting, that's not where I messed up, but it's just right here. I also started on the other side. If you're lucky like me, you probably have a double hung window. Like if you've got this little accent on the bottom, it kind of means that you have a double hung window, which means you'll find 2 weights inside this pocket. So what you can actually do to make this easier, if you want to repair both of the weights, is you can take this window down. So double hung means the first one comes up and the second one can come down, and then it rests on these little pieces here. So what you want to do if you want to do that and someone has painted over your window is you just want to make sure that you score all the paint all the way up, and you want to do that on the outside for all the edges of the window and then kind of down here as well. So what we have now is we can kind of see this pocket. So here we can see more of that little outline of where the line is. So we want to score it here and we want to score it along the sides, and then we want to get something like this and we want to kind of put it in here and then just see if we can wiggle it out. Definitely check to make sure that no one has put a nail from here to here. I did have that on one of them, and you just have to take a jigsaw down the side and just cut that nail, and then it should pop out. Okay, so here what I've done is I just traced along the outside a few more times. Make sure you score it at the top too, so this is super important. So when it's in there slanted, and there is these little prongs, and those are stuck up on some nails internal to here. So you want to make sure that you kind of pry this up from here, and then hold on to it because you don't want it to fall out the window. And then slowly just wiggle that bad boy out there. And it should, you want to be pulling it like down. So here we can see those notches I was talking about for the nails. And then the nails are up in there, you can't really see them, but here is the part where you decide whether it's double hung or single hung. So here you can see that I have one line that is connected, but I don't have anything in my pulley. I still have this upper window installed, so which begs the question, what is that pulley connected to? So it's connected to the upper window where I cannot see the pulley currently because it's hidden behind that window. But I also have one where it has been disconnected. Oh, and that string is going to be here. So what we're going to be doing in the next few videos is we'll actually take this weight out. But in order to do that, I probably have to take this guy. Sorry, these are kind of heavy. These are like 8 pounds. If you just heard me struggle with that. And then you can lift this one out. So you want to make sure that you label them too, because some of them can have different weights. So you just want to make sure that you know which one you're dealing with. Also, look at those spider webs. Make sure you wash your hands after. Yeah, and so this is the window pocket. This is where we'll put the weights back in. We're just going to get a rope, pull it down there, and attach it to this one. And we can use this rope as well as any remaining rope on the window to kind of estimate the length that it should be at.